It'll certainly help. Chris did a good job for us. Probably played as good as he can play in there, and Cam will give us another dimension. Cam can really run, and he's real comfortable in what we're doing. He's comfortable working with Jake. So that helps us out a lot, having him back 100%.
Coach, that defensive line of Kentucky's is probably the most talented that you faced thus far. Is that something with the young offensive line that you kind of relish, or is it something that you worry about?
I tell you what, everybody, when you sit down and you work, you work against X's and O's, schematically. And, they do have, I like their two inside kids, and I like their edge players, they're good players. So, I think it was, as we work as an offensive line and bring that group together, we're just going to keep doing what we do. I mean, we've got to get better. I mean, all games really, honestly, guys, are about a team, continuing to improve. Opponent, they weigh into that schematically and then with people, but in the long and the short, you got to get better. So we've got to get better at rushing the ball.
How much tape have you been able to look at of Kentucky's spread offense and what they look like?
I haven't seen a snap.
Can you just kind of talk about last Saturday's performance, what you'd like to see done better, other than running the ball?
Yeah, rushing the ball. Everywhere else we're really clean. I mean, our protection's been awesome. Our route work's been awesome. We've been a very explosive football team. So I'm really happy about those aspects of it. We just, the biggest thing for me right now is for us to, have that two-fisted, hard-nosed mentality, that physical mentality of the run game. So we've got to get our thump there.
Is there something that Sonoris still does better than Michael? And the numbers would suggest that you've got them backwards.
They, it's, both kids they have different skill sets. Mike is, very explosive. He's a really hard runner inside the tackles, and you can see his explosiveness. He attacks tacklers. Sonoris is more of a slasher, so he has a different skill set. He's got outside speed to go with it, finishing speed to go with it. So they're just two different running styles.
It looks like you're going with seniority or something other than merit based on their whole credentials and their numbers. Dyer is what he did in the SEC, what he's done for you so far, 6.4 yards per crack.
Yeah, well,
how do you explain it?
He's had one big explosive run.
Okay.
That's 40 yards going to add to that stat.
Right.
So
it's a small sample.
Yeah, it's a very small sample. And that, he's got a body of work out here at practice too, and so does Sonoris. So that's, that's what you gauge your work off of, what happens out here on the field, and then obviously within what happens on Saturday.
Is there anything that he's not up to speed with on blocking or other assignments?
You're talking about Mike, right?
Right. Well, vis-a-vis Sonoris.
Yeah, Mike is he's catching up. He's had a lot to catch up with in terms of our protections and exactly how he fits in all those different pieces. So he's still learning that part of it, and he's still learning the route work part of it. The natural easy part of it is because he's a running back, is the running part.
Right. When would you expect to be able to go to one guy?
We'll never go to one guy. We'll play. We're going to play two. I think if you heard Charlie's statement yesterday, we're going to play two guys. We'll have one guy that we want to get in a rhythm. I mean, I think it's really important that a running back gets in rhythm. In order to get a rhythm, it's a little different than a quarterback. You got to play. So, our whole objective from this point forward would be getting that guy in a rhythm and letting him go. And then the next guy comes in when he just gets flat tired.
Shawn, you might have answered this for you if you did, but how exciting for a coach is it to not play your best and still win 44-7 and know the potential you have as an offense?
It's I tell you what, I demand perfection out of these kids, and I was very unhappy on Saturday just because I said the expectation that we have and what I know I've seen in practice and what we're capable of doing. Until we play at that level, I won't be happy, because if I get happy, then it's okay.
Right.
And I'm not going to let it be okay, because it's not okay. I think we have more explosiveness in us than what we've exhibited so far. So, what we have to do is we have to keep grinding on it. We have to get it out of them. So I'm not backing off on my approach and my demands on the staff and my demands on the kids. I mean, I think we can be unbelievable. we've got to get our run game going.
I would say, was it anything in the run game specific?
No,
that
it was
saw, or-
honestly, it comes down. We were talking about it right before you came up. One or two hats. It's one or two guys, and it could be an assignment. It could be a technique. It could be. It was really something very, controllable. Proper footwork, proper hat placement. Things that were really, really technique or fundamental oriented that can be controlled. Focus is, a huge part of it. With the young line, I think some of the, the confidence part.
Coach, how excited are you for the first road game?
I really don't care where we play, to be honest with you. That's just me. I love the game. I don't care where we play. I don't care if it's home way, neutral side. I just want to play. I like competition. I like the game. So for me, it doesn't matter.
So they're missing the rain.
That was a little different.
Do you remember? I mean, obviously, you remember 2 years ago, Teddy, when he went in. Did you talk to him? I mean, Will got hurt. Were you able to tell him anything before he went in? Do you remember, or what?
No, we always, part of the deal was you always have to prepare your backup. I learned this from Coach Weeb Eubanks when he was helping me at Miami of Ohio. Your most important player in your team was the backup because he doesn't get the reps the other guy gets. So we were at that point really trying to get Teddy up to speed with what we do, comfortable with what we do, in terms of the execution part. And it was just really the preparation, putting the preparation in that if called upon, he could go in and win us the game, which he did, and he never let go of the job after that.
You've got some new guys on the offensive line. They've got a veteran defensive line. Do you expect them to try and to do some things to sort of rattle you up front?
You know what? Everybody does, so it shouldn't be any different this week.
What kind of stuff might that be?
It's just movement, zone pressures, the typical kind of things that, you have to manage every week in our game plan. It doesn't matter who the opponent is, you got to manage that.
When you look at their defensive front, what stands out at you?
I like their two ends. I like their two inside guys. The two big space eaters, and they eat up a lot of space, and they're good hard spots in the defense. And I like their backer, number 40. He's a good player. Got a lot of respect for him. So you can tell that they're gaining confidence, and they're starting to get assignment sound and figure out what they're doing too. So they're like us. Everybody's evolving and trying to find a way to perfection.
Is their style that much different than it was last year with the new coordinator?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
What, more aggressive or?
You know what? It's just just a little bit. It's a different style in terms of front and coverage, and what they do with their blitz package and how they manage themselves on nickel downs. It's really a totally different approach or philosophy. Some of the X's and O's would probably be the same, but the philosophy is different.
Coach, do you have any general opinion why Kentucky hasn't had to have success in the past?
I don't. I really don't. I've been taking care of my world.
Do you think any of the